I represent Mexico.
I feel like Canelo's a fucking pussy.
Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo.
David Benavidez, the unbeaten fighter known as the Mexican Monster, has made his intentions crystal clear.
The most feared fighter in boxing. Ever see Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime? I'm talking about the daddy. I'm talking about one of the greatest fighters ever. This guy is the closest thing I have seen to a big Julio Cesar Chavez. David, I'm not putting the Chavez thing on you. I'm just saying, you're the closest thing I've seen to a big dude who fights like that. Oh, Canelo's ducking him. This dude's a monster. And I looked and I thought, am I right or wrong about that?
No, you're definitely right. You know, you're looking at a man that's not going to let anything outside the ring, you know, mess with his game. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not scared of nothing. You know, I accept and I invite war. You know, so if that's what the people of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia want to see, well, let's give it to them. I think everybody is starting to see that I'm fearless, I'm relentless, and I'll fight anybody to get my respect in the ring.
When Canelo Alvarez's recent loss, Terrence Crawford didn't hold back. He openly called for a showdown and didn't hesitate to claim that Canelo was scared. For quite some time, Crawford's name has lingered as a shadow over Canelo's career, a test the Mexican champion has continuously sidestepped.
Canelo, he was talking about how he didn't want to give David Benavidez the fight because he was being disrespectful.
When you look at the history of Canelo, all the fighters that was disrespectful, calling them out, and he fought all of them. But I just think from a Mexican standpoint, one being extra disrespectful towards the other, he took the sport out of it, and he just felt as if he wasn't going to give Benavidez the payday that he...
Benavidez is ready to put an end to the speculation and re-establish his dominance in the division. After a crushing defeat at the hands of Terrence Crawford, that looming presence is now impossible to overlook. Just weeks ago, the boxing community was shaken when Crawford, the reigning undisputed welterweight champion, moved up in weight and delivered a masterclass that exposed vulnerabilities in Canelo Alvarez. This wasn't just a typical loss. It was a commanding display that stripped away some of the mystique surrounding the Mexican icon. Even respected voices in the sport, like veteran trainer Ronnie Shields, began to question whether Canelo's prime had already passed.
David Crawford by unanimous decision. He got that. You know, I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo.
Oscar de la Hoya offered a thorough analysis of Canelo's mistakes, emphasizing that this wasn't just another fight. It marked a pivotal moment that set the stage for a long-awaited challenge. In an exclusive...
First of all, I just want to give Terrence Crawford a great congratulations. You know, he's reached a part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. There's nothing, you can't take that away from him. Terrence Crawford should be on the Mount Rushmore in boxing because not only did he go up 3 weight classes, he beat one of the best fighters of this generation. I don't remember any time in history where anybody has come up from 147 pounds and won the super middleweight championship. Not only just won, but the undisputed. He's won every single title. So, you know, man, that man, not only is he a great fighter, but you could tell in that fight by seeing this combination right now how much of a dog he is. You know what I mean? I think a lot of fighters could take a lot of notes from Terrence Crawford, not only physically, but as take notes in the heart aspect. And I give it all up to Terrence Crawford. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. And, you know, we salute.
With inside the ring, David Benavidez acknowledged Crawford's remarkable accomplishment. He praised Crawford, noting that few fighters have ever reached such heights. Benavidez insisted that Crawford deserves a place on boxing's Mount Rushmore for moving up 3 weight divisions and capturing the undisputed super middleweight title. He remarked, "Not only is he an outstanding athlete, but you could clearly see his relentless determination in that fight," suggesting that Crawford's grit could inspire other fighters to elevate their game.
Yeah, I'm the best in the division. If they want to give me an opportunity now or later, I'm gonna keep winning. You know, like I said, I'm gonna be the greatest of my generation by the time I'm done, and my job is not complete until I make that happen. For Canelo and everybody else, it just shows everybody I'm not f***ing around. I'm here to stay. I just look at the facts. You know, the people want to see this fight more than Carlos Adames and Charlo. You know, that's why that fight hasn't happened. But for me and Canelo, we have motion. You know what I mean? I've been winning the fights I'm supposed to win in fantastic fashion. He has nobody else to fight. You know what I mean? So if they want to give it to me now, later, whenever, I'm not going.
Benavidez, a two-time WBC champion boasting an impressive undefeated professional record of 30 wins and 25 knockouts, has held the interim title, standing as a clear contender to challenge Canelo's long-standing reign.
Like to bash somebody because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying. They spin the narrative on Instagram.
Right.
If I say something, they say this or that. But I only want what I earned.
Right.
And I'm entitled to it. From what the WBC told me, they say you win the title limiter, we'll give you a title shot. You win the WBC interim title, we'll give you a title shot. I've been in this position for 3 years. So just because Canelo, he could do what he wants, as he says,
right.
He's not going to fight the top competition. And he's holding all those belts hostage, bro. And it's not like, you got other great fighters too. You got me and David Morrell's there. Yeah. How is it fair that these sanctioning bodies let him pick and choose who he wants to fight? And then the Canelo fans too that be talking shit, bro. Like, do you guys not want to see the best fights?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I'm just trying to make the best fights happen. And that's it. At the end of the day, I just want to give the fans what they want to see.
This wasn't just idle talk. It was serious business. Rumors spread about a staggering $70 million offer extended to Canelo for the bout. Benavidez confirmed the figures, revealing that he was guaranteed a solid $5 million to step into the ring.
Scared of nobody. I've heard everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts. It's crazy that he asked for $150 million or $200 million to fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he could buy himself a pair of balls.
What I wanted to tell you guys too, I mean, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a f what you guys want. He's not going to give you the best fights. He's going to fight the fights that he wants. In my opinion, that's a little bit disrespectful to the fans, but he has cult-like fans that, you know, they don't tell him shit and they're happy with whatever he does. But at the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you got to fight the best in the division. I'm #1 in the division, #1 contender. The second one is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he's not fighting David Morrell. So it makes no sense. How is he going to call himself the champion and have all these belts if he doesn't fight the #1 or the #2 guys? He's asking $200 million. Why, when they bring my name up with him, that's the most money he's gonna make. When he fought Amir Khan, he outweighed him by like 25 pounds. But, you know, I think it's just he's running out of excuses and running out of things to say, but that's just how it is. I guess that's when you're the cash cow.
This wasn't just empty talk. It was a firm declaration of intent. But the situation is layered, like a complex game of chess. The ongoing standoff involves weight class challenges and the hesitation of other top fighters. Recently, Benavidez has moved up to light heavyweight, signaling both his comfort and ambition in that division. When asked directly if he could still make 168 pounds, Benavidez was blunt. Honestly, man, let Terrence Crawford have that space. I lost interest in 168 a long time ago. He made his current focus clear. I'm more at home at 175 pounds. I'm chasing bigger fights. I'm hunting Bivol. I'm going after the top names. I'm even looking at cruiserweight.
Canelo, Benavidez, if they fought, which I don't think they're gonna fight no time soon, who you think will win?
Man, that's hard to say. I think both have pros and cons. You know, I feel like the things that Canelo does better than David, there's things that David does better than Canelo. In a way, I'm not comparing it to this fight, but it's like the better be of Bivol fight. You can say who you think is gonna win. You can't say like, oh man, I'm surprised that Bivol won, or I'm surprised that better be of won. You're like, man, that's a damn good fight. So-and-so won. So kind of how I feel about the David and Canelo fight, like who had the best camp, who has the best game plan, who slept the best the night before.
And it's not much that separates guys at that level.
If David can get on him with his combinations and not give him room to breathe, then, you know, that's probably a night that David gets his hand raised. You know, if Canelo is able to slow the pace down a little bit and catch him with a big shot, David's been dropped before from an off-balance shot. He wasn't really hurt, but, you know, would you be surprised if Canelo stopped him? You know, no. So it's hard to say.
However, after Benavidez agreed, all communication suddenly stopped. No calls, no further negotiations, just complete silence. This wasn't empty talk from an unproven contender. Benavidez earned his spot by proving himself in the toughest battles. His recent standout performances solidified his claim. First, a decisive and brutal victory over Caleb Plant in a heated rivalry, followed by a devastating knockout of the undefeated Demetrius, forcing his team to pull the plug on the fight.
% confident in himself. I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You think
steroids.
he's on steroids?
Of course.
Sure.
How does five?
You saw De La Hoya
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? You know what I mean? No, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Or David Benavidez, once this fight is done, is that a fight that you can see happening before the end of your career?
Look, I never say no to anything. We'll see later. But I'm focused 100% on this fight.
Reflecting on his journey, he shared, "Ever since I was just 3 years old, I've had a single dream to become the greatest boxer in history. And that's exactly what I'm determined to achieve." This burning ambition drives him to chase the biggest challenges in the sport.
A possibility, or you just go one at a time and you also speak with your team?
Yeah, I go one at a time, but you know, it's a possibility, always.
Right.
But I've been in this position my whole life. One was that was in Toronto in 2012, 11. Then Mayweather, then Lara, then Cotto, then Callum Smith, then Golovkin, and then if I beat Benavidez, it's gonna be other guy there they want me to fight. So I've been in this position my whole life, but you know, is that time when that fight they ask, I give it to them. But right now in this position I am, now is the time I need to ask. If the money is right.
Canelo's silence only fueled Benavidez' fire, leading to a series of pointed remarks. During that same Inside the Ring interview, when asked how Canelo has responded to his presence, Benavidez was straightforward. "He's definitely scared of me." He challenged the logic behind Canelo's avoidance, saying, "If a fighter is trash-talking you openly, why not shut him down in the ring, make a statement, and earn big money?" Benavidez backed up his claims by pointing to Canelo's struggles against stronger opponents like Bivol. "He sees so much in me that he can't handle," Benavidez explained. "It's not just my speed or power, it's the heart I bring." He highlighted his own fearlessness, adding, "Fighting great opponents doesn't scare me because I know it elevates who I am as a boxer and competitor." Now hitting his stride and growing more confident, Benavidez believes Canelo missed a golden chance. If he was going to beat me, it would have happened already. That chance is gone.